Okay, good evening again. So this is the GreenCast Live conducted by the Green Future Network powered by Eco Hive. This is March session. So I'll start with introducing ourselves first. So we are Eco Hive. We are an impact-driven sustainability platform offering practical green building solutions, transformative education, and inspiring storytelling. And we work through three pillars: Eco Hive Green Solutions, Eco Hive Academy, and Eco Hive Green Bus. And through our second pillar, we have started this Green Future Network, and this Greencast Live is one of the events conducted through the Green Future Network. So today, in the March session, I would like to introduce you our guest speaker today. Yes. Um, Sorry. You may already know. Today's speaker is Mr. Wenura Jayasinghe, and it's my pleasure to introduce him today. He is an specialist in AI, digital transformation, ESG, and energy optimization, and currently serving as the director at CNES Private Limited, Luminatech, and Factorix. And he is also a visiting lecturer, consultant, and speaker who works with organizations to drive growth through technology, sustainability, and innovation. And he is currently reading for his doctorate in business administration at the University of California, where his research focuses on artificial intelligence in customer relationship management. And he holds an MBA from Cardiff Metropolitan University, UK, and a diploma in counseling psychology as well. And his expertise spans across AI, robotics, blockchain, fintech, metaverse technologies, and smart building automation systems, including KNX, DALI, and DMX. What makes his work unique is his ability to combine advanced technology with human-centered design and business strategy. And he's also a founding mentor. I'm really proud to introduce him as one of the founding mentor of the Green Future Network, where he contributes his vision, technical expertise, and also, most importantly, the entrepreneurial insights to help guide the next generation of our future-ready professionals. Today, he will be speaking to us on the topic of immediacy to innovate everywhere, thriving in challenging time. So, without further ado, let's welcome Mr. Wenura Jayasinghe. Over to you.
All right. Thank you and good evening, everyone. Believe you can hear me properly.
Yes.
Right. Thanks. So thank you very much for the lovely introduction, Upeksha. And let's see what we can share over here today. Right. So before we start, before I go through the prepared slides, I just want to uh, throw some questions to you all, and I want you to get the temperature ready for our forum discussion. And on the outset, I'd like to mention here we are trying to ignite your thinking process and to open up your eyes for and have a broader look at what's happening around the area around us, in the workplaces, in the country, in the global setting, and everywhere. Because in this particular 30 to 40 minutes time, we won't be able to share, we won't be able to initiate a lot of solutions, or maybe we won't be able to get into a lot of topics that we want to discuss. But here, we believe the initiations that we are talking over here will ignite you to think more, dig more, because we are in a world where information is overloaded. And if we just type, or be type in the sense today, if we just give a prompt to any of the AI engine like LLM, large language model like ChatGPT, Gemini, or Claude, or what maybe CD, they are enough and more. And it's the same level of access that you have that I'm also having. So it's only a matter of fact that what do we prompt? What do we enter in our uh, browser? I would say maybe Google is more or less is gone. So always we tend to use LLMs as our search engines. As a matter of fact, they have innovated their solutions to embed LLMs into web browsers itself. So we don't want to open up a new window and take our search there. So having said that, here in my the little time I'll be talking about innovation and immediacy, and what is the help that we can get from these innovative initiations to thrive ourselves, our organizations, uh, for a sustainable for a elongated time sustainably. And when you see the registration forms, we see a lot of students over here as a very good mix of everyone. We have students from university, students like university grads. We have in various fields: agriculture, engineering, sustainability, environmental sciences, and there are a lot. A wide variety of grads that we have in today's sessions. And apart from that, we have some working community over here who are employed in workplaces. So I'll try to keep a mix, proper balance in between when I when I discuss practical examples, and when I make projections that you can take away after this session. Right. And innovation, that's a key word of this today's speech, innovation. And I'd like to say that innovation is one of the most used as well as most abused word in the business setting. And if you talk about anything today, even a paint shop, we see innovative paints. And sometimes we talk about innovative cooking materials, even I would say modern trade items, which are mostly sold in a supermarket. Each and everything has something to do with that innovation and innovative process that they have followed. But are they really looking into this one? Are we really keen on practicing making innovative practices into production force? That's a big question. But here, as you can see, 84% of the CEOs, global CEOs, global executives, not on Sri Lankan settings, and I have taken this information from McKinsey's reports, and they say 84% of the CEOs believe innovation is extremely important. So 84% is a big number. And when it's come to global, we are talking about very large organizations like Unilever, Coca-Cola, Procter and Gamble, tech companies like Facebook, Nvidia, to Alibaba, to name it, all the big companies. But only six are satisfied with their innovation performance. 84% says it's important. Meanwhile, 6% are agreeing that is limited to 6% when it's come to satisfied level. Why it is happening? So there's a big dilemma, right? In one side, say it's very important. On the other side, they are not satisfied about the successfulness of that, about the performances. It means something somewhere wrong. So today we are trying to find out what could have been gone wrong. So we are not trying to find the answers, but we'll try to get some glimpse out of this scenario. So we'll try to touch base on the innovation. What is innovation? And by the meantime, why some companies are innovative and some are not? What you can do to improve innovation? Let's imagine you are attached to one of these organizations, or maybe it's maybe your own organization, maybe a dream company to be in, work for. Otherwise, it will be your idea that is cooking in your belly that you want to come up with as a startup company next. We don't say, oh, let's maybe within next 3 months, because the technologies that we are going to talk about will fuel you, will catapult you to the extent of implementing your great mindsets, great ideas that you can make a difference to the world. So, that is what we are going to discuss today. So, before I start, innovations. There are three very broad level innovations that we discussed. Number one is product, because it's very common. Think about the products that you carry in your, if you are sitting in a table, just have a look around and see what are the products what you carry around your table. At least at the minimum level, you have like 2-3 devices, and most probably it's more than that. And this product development, product innovation is a major breakthrough that happens. I mean, even this innovation as a concept, I mean, before innovation as a concept got familiarized, got popular in the world, it came into the picture. So just after, during the World War and after the World War, because World War is like a very, I would say, uh, largest uh, technological transformation had happened in the world ever. And even today, we see, I mean, we are on the verge of, we might say, we are already at the World War III. So these transformations that they have brought in terms of products is huge among us. So the products, we carry products, the people come up with new products, more and more features are added. Think about the very early stage, the mobile phones that we used. Nokia is one of them, right? And they were the market leader. But one point of time, they lost the market share. Why? If you could remember, I mean, maybe most of you who are in the audience might have not used this Nokia the feature phone, which has this snake game, which was very famous on that point of time, and it was their flagship handheld device. But they were enjoying the market position. They were the number one. But all of a sudden, until Apple came into the picture and the Samsung came up with the large touchscreen products, they could not develop their product from that point of view. So ultimately, they lost the market share. And today, in the mobile phone, handheld devices market, Nokia is not to be seen. So why? They were not continually, they were not sustainably developing their product after that breakthrough, after that particular time. Then we talk about the process. We have, I mean, as you can see, the deliveries, right? Deliveries. Drone delivery is becoming a big thing now. So previously, it was a courier man who was taking the package and deliver, but all the process has developed, has changed with these innovations. Business model. Think about this setting itself. I mean, back in the days before the Zoom was there, I'd say before the pandemic, and we were believing only on the classroom education. We have to book a classroom. We should have a trainer or whatever. We are sitting in a physical setting. So today we are talking about the business model innovation. Business model innovation. The whole setting is changed. We don't have to travel. We just need an internet connection, so we are there. So, and on the other hand, we're talking about the printed products, newspapers, magazines. Are they really in the same position in the marketplace today? No, right? Everything is digitalized. We are looking at the blogs, websites, podcast, streaming, and the messages. So everything is changed. So categorically, we are looking at three main categories in terms of innovation: product, process, and business models. And if you go through in each and every sections, there are a lot of subsections we can come across. And then come to innovation. What is it? Is it creativity or delivery? Is it just creativity? Somebody says so innovation is creativity. Without the creativity, we won't be able to innovate anything. But just imagine uh, a wonderful, very skillful craftsman is designing something, let's say masterpiece. I mean, he's very good at carving, and he just produce masterpieces, and he's living in a forest, right? So he just do these carvings on his enthusiasm, and nobody knows about, and he can't deliver it to any of the other customers out of the forest. So in that case, that won't be an innovation because we need to have the creativity plus the delivery. Then only we can make it commercialized, right? Commercialized. We have masterpieces like if you talk about Mona Lisa picture and all, they are masterpieces, right? They have a value since they came into the mainstream and they auction the original paint, and there are a lot of duplicates, lot of copies, blueprints that they sell, which is not the same as the original paint, but there are some duplicates that's been sold in the market again because of the delivery, the creativity and delivery. So the moment until we connect this creativity and the delivery together, it won't be an innovation. Right. So that is where we need to see. We should be creative up to a certain extent, and we should find a way to deliver to somebody who could make use out of that. I mean, a customer. In the simple terms, it's a customer. You should find a customer. If you are looking for a vacancy, if you are looking for to get employed, you should think about the customer, which is the organization, the company who would like to hire you. So you should be creative. That we'll be discussing in later slides as well. But in the terms, you should deliver yourself. Okay, I'm a person like this. I have these skills, the set of skills what I have, and I'm a pro in this one. Let's say critical thinking or communication, or maybe UX and UI, or maybe programming. So, and you have to show that you have to deliver that your value to a respective customer in terms of LinkedIn profile, your whatever the social media, or maybe if you have your own blog, that will be the medium that you should be communicating, that you should be delivering your skill set up to your potential employees for doorstep, right? So again, we have a couple of terminologies: invention and innovation and hacks. So hacks, most of the time we don't focus on this part, but for me, it's very important, the hacks. I tell you why. So inventions refers to be the very first uh, creation to the world of its kind. But sometimes we don't realize, we don't remember the initiator of these products. If I ask you simple questions without Googling or without using any of the AI, if I ask you, who invented the light bulb? Who invented the light bulb? Right. So most of us will recall as Thomas Alva Edison, right? So the fact is, Thomas Alva Edison invented the AC bulb, air conditioner, sorry, alternative currents supported bulb, which is a filament bulb at the very early stage. But initially, Nikola Tesla invented the first bulb, which was a DC bulb, like a which was running with a battery. So that's why innovation is very important. Sometimes we don't even remember, we don't even give the due recognition to the very first inventor in some of the cases, because innovation, the product which came after that, has captured the audience by far. And today we talk about electric cars. Then again, this Tesla or the Toyota, did they manufacture the first? Did they invented the first electric car? No, right? Again, the gratitude should go to Nikola Tesla. So they came up with the electric motor. And also there are a lot of examples that you can see if you are out of your curiosity or interest, if you want to dig on the history part, that is there. So then now we are talking about innovation. And I need to remind you that inventing a product, as of today, 2026, inventing a product, it means an invention means like new. It should be brand new. It's very difficult. It's not that easy. But innovation means we take something which is available in the market and we make it a much usable format, right? We took the car and we converted electric car. An electric car, again, it became PHV. It means like plug-in hybrid electrical and driven by hydrogen fuel cells, you name it. So when it comes to innovation, we pick several items and we package it, which is much, it could be much usable for the usable in the practical context. So that is where innovation makes a huge, I would say, leap from the steps of invention. So again, we might not be able to invent something because it's take a long time again, out of which, I mean, we should have a certain level of luck as well. But innovation, we need a curious mindset, open eyes, open ears, and if you look at a problem with a question, with a mindset, proper mindset, we'll be able to find a good innovation. And I'm pretty sure you have a best innovator at your home, best innovator, and that person have lot of solutions, lot of the answers for many questions yet around the home. Who that could be? You know it very well. You know the person very well. Your mom or your grandmother. They are highly innovative. Do you know how to work around the available resources around the house and come up with something exciting? So I recall the marvelous adventures that they have done. I mean, when it's come to when I mean something's broken, maybe broom is broken, the handle of the broom is broken. They know how to fix it for some and you can they will use it for a few more days maybe. So likewise, innovation is collecting some available materials, available technologies, and package them to a new product. And ultimately, that will be a new product. Facebook per se. Facebook is not the very first social media that came in the world. If you know, there's a platform called Spice5. So one person can add 5 friends. And the Facebook took the initiation from that platform and he added marvelous ideas, many features into that where it could hook the customer. So it was not the core product which was powerful enough to capture the customer or the user. It was the other features, right? Wow features only that hooked up the platform. And then again, hacks. We are a masters of hacks, especially university students. We know, especially if you are not going to the university from your homes, maybe if you are in a like a temporary dwelling or be in like a boarding place and all. So we don't have much facilities, right? So we use hacks. With a simple rubber band, there are so many things that we do, and we thumb. I mean, the that is where our creativity comes into practice. And why, as I told you, why for me the hacks are very important because hacks can become the early steps, stepping stones of the steppings of the steppings of the to the innovation, like 3M did. I think you might know about this. 3M is a company. They are the company who invented this poster notes, where sticky notes, even the paperclip. Sellotape, we call it scotch tape, and now we call it in our language we call the sellotape. But again, it's invented by 3M, the company called 3M. So they use this. I mean, one culture that they inculcate within 3M as a company. They have given the opportunity for all the employees to be innovative enough, be innovators, and take your hacks, take your ideas into the company, and the company will invest on upon that, and they develop it to a commercial product. That's how we get these paper clips and all this in the market that we can buy easily in the bookshop. So the hacks become innovations at the early stage. Right. So innovations. Why? I mean, is innovation is important? Why it is important? There's a thing called the World Innovation Index, and they rank the most innovative economies in the world. And the number one is held by is held by Switzerland. You know Switzerland, right? If you can remember, what comes to your mind? The nice watches and the Swiss knife, which they have packaged like multiple tools into like a very small canister where the soldiers could carry it. Sweden, USA, the Korea, Singapore, UK, Finland, Netherlands, Denmark, China. And these are the largest economies. I mean, today, the China as of economy, they have exceeded all the countries. They have surpassed USA as well. And India is on the fast run as well. I mean, last year they were on the fourth position, and next year we don't know, we don't even know. So these countries have they were able to they develop enormous they were able to generate a very high level of economic independency because of their innovative practices that they have uh, inculcated within the country. So there are a lot of schemes, not like some of them all in our country. So they have schemes to support inventors, and they, as a culture, they want everybody to become innovators. You know, I mean, they know that in the future, they if they come up with a good product, and today we talk about this vacuum cleaner, right? It was invented by a company called Dyson. So, I mean, at the early stage. So now it is everywhere. The cleaning robot, it just came as a toy. So now it's a essential piece of most of the partners, even in Sri Lanka, right? So with this one and two products, innovative products, they have conquered the world. Switzerland, chocolate, watches, just one or two products. They have killed the market. They have acquired the attention. They have got the attention of the entire world by far, right? Swiss watches are regarded as the best mechanical watches, not the electronic watches, I would say, but they have a good market share. That's from the world perspective. Look at the Southeast Asia, Korea, most connected cities. They have CCTV, Wi-Fi connected everywhere. Singapore, again, on a very fast run, right? Why? And there was a time that Singapore wanted to develop looking at Colombo as Sri Lanka. But now we are just looking at Singapore in like a exponential curve. So they are there. Why? They were innovative enough, and they had this innovative DNA gone into their bloodstreams, and they keep on innovating. And today, Northern Africa and all. See, United Arab Emirates, I mean, they were after inventing the once after inventing oil. So Arab came into they secured very strong position in the global market as a country. They grieve a very high level of GDP and they grew exponentially. But they know the lifetime of the crude oil, the petroleum fuel is not that good. So it's nearing then it won't be regenerated within our lifetime, I would say. So because of that, now they are looking into some other areas to maintain their economic independency in a certain level. That's why they have invented heavily on the innovations. And I mean, just before the war, and I mean, 3 weeks or so 4 weeks back, the World AI Conference was took place in India, and all these giants like Nvidia founder and ChatGPT founder Atman and Jensen and everybody came into India, and they set up collaborations with Indian companies. Why? They know that India is on a rising curve. Before that, Nvidia was investing a lot on Saudi Arabia. And today, recently I couldn't get any information about this because of the topic is somewhere else. But United Arab Emirates, the first country who had metaverse driven government. So metaverse, you might say, like, I mean, meta is like the VR set. With the VR set, you can have the virtual environment. So entire government was converted to a metaverse based government in United Arab Emirates with the support of Nvidia. If you know Nvidia, Nvidia is the company who manufactured the best AI chips in the world as of last week. And this week we don't know because there were some controversial arguments were going on where China black chip, Huawei has come up with a better chip comparatively compared to Nvidia chips, which were high performance. They have shown high performance capacities. I'm trying to say this United Arab Emirates, they have understood this depending on the fossil fuel driven economy is not going to be sustainable in the future. So they have shifted towards the technology, towards AI, towards metaverse, Web3 technologies, blockchain technologies. Today, United Arab is provides the best platforms for cryptocurrency trading and all related other activities. So they have opened up the boundaries where developers come and set up their businesses there. So again, they are looking at innovations. Why? They know it's going to be the future. And if you want to be in business for a long time, you should innovate. Not like Nokia. They stopped the innovation at some point of time and they lost the market share and they got wiped up from the market. So that's where countries are looking at. Any questions so far? If you want to have any comments, are we clear here? If you are with me, just type number 2 maybe on the chat box so I know we are alive. Or maybe a thumbs up. Right. Thanks. Thank you. Right. Okay. So now we come to, as mentioned in this in my topic, challenging times. What are the challenges that we have today? The major challenges. If I segregate that one into economic challenges, geopolitical challenges, these two will go hand in hand. So we can put it as one as well. So apparently we have three main areas of challenges and the climate crisis and the digital disruption. So why these the concepts of the matters have become challenges to our daily lives. Today, economic challenges and geopolitics as of Sri Lankans, we experience it because one good thing is we have a 4-day work week, which was declared in France in after the corona. So they declared 4-day work week and they were negotiating with the 3-day work week as well. So apparently because of the geopolitics and the economic challenges, we have got a 4-day work week. So there are pros and cons out of that. So we have to bear with that one. And the climate crisis, again, we can't say, oh no, the climate change or whatever global warming will have some time. We can experience damage in the world as much as we want. No way, right? So we know Ditwa, the devastations that which devastated the entire some parts of our country, and it hit the economy at a like a storm. And today we have this El Nino and all. We can't even work outside because of the temperature and the dryness and the heat waves. So to the people who work in the outskirts, outside, and think about the agriculture production, the agri products production in Sri Lanka. What's going to happen in the near future? So we know that I mean, so, we harvested the paddy last month, on this month, or rather March, April. Okay, we'll be enjoying the New Year's whatsoever. But what about the next season? Can we work? Can we work outside because of the ongoing climate condition? Digital disruption. Today, I mean, some point of time, it's not that far, 2, 3 years back, I would say, we were prompted to prepare our CVs, and part of that, Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel. We are high proficiency in Microsoft Excel and all. And today, it's outdated. Nobody even cares about Microsoft Word and Excel. But again, still it's valid and can make a big difference. But today we are talking about the knowledge of AI. And I'll tell you a good story. I happened to interact with one of the entrepreneur, a lady at a salon. And Upeksha knows the story why I went there. So this lady is making her own cosmetic products, and she had some issue about using the pigmentation, the active ingredients in this formula to make it much active to enhance the performances. And this entrepreneur, this lady, she's using Gemini to get her matters answered. And she has been tried contacting some other veterans in the field, but nobody has given proper answers. She has taken in a right. Now she is using Gemini out of utmost trust to create new formulas. So digital disruption. What about the knowledge of Word and Excel? So, so that is where digital disruption has taken place. Now, is it a challenge or a benefit or an opportunity for us? These three conditions, are they challenges or the opportunities for us? That is how we should put ourselves in position. If you see that is a challenge, or you know there's nothing, there's no point of learning anything, because to next week it will be outdated. So we have to learn something new. So can we go in this right? So what are we going to do? So that's a big question. So it's all about the perception that we have taken. So here, that's where innovation coming into picture. So before this world, I mean the heated up war condition in the on the step of World War III, the entire world was going through the pandemic situation because of Corona. Even in that time, according to McKinsey's study, they have shown that the companies who invested on innovation, they have gained a clear 30% of growth compared to a company which who are not spending on innovation. So to be in the market, be in the business, to be in the customer's mindset as a product supplier or maybe a service supplier, they should have invented their offering to the customer. Otherwise, it will become obsolete, right? So to adapt to the customer's needs, to be in the business, the organizations had to spend on innovation. That was the only uh, formula, only theory that was proven solidly to give results if we want to be sustainable. Again, innovation doesn't mean technology. That's why I said product. Technology is only a part of that. And technology per se, today we talk about AI in a big term, big level, but back the few years back, it was the internet was a big thing by then, 10 years back. Internet was a big thing. And today we are talking about AI. And then after next 2 years, even next year, we don't know what it is, because technological transformation is quite rapid. It's changing exponentially. So, but now, if an organization is innovative enough and if they have their investments properly portioned towards innovative initiations, so the company can secure their position, sustainability. So that is where we see why immediacy to innovate. So this is the time when we try to find solutions when we are at a risk, when we are at a trouble. And I believe all of our audience are from Sri Lanka, right? Anybody who doesn't understand Sinhala? Do you have anybody who doesn't understand Sinhala in my audience? Please raise a hand
Please
if
raise
you
your
have.
hand if there is any.
Sorry?
Far as I know, everyone is in Sri Lankan participants.
Sri Lanka, all are Sri Lankan participants, and I
Paranti.
believe they can understand Sinhala. Any Tamil friends who doesn't understand Sinhala? No, right?
See
Okay.
one raised hand. I can see one raised hand.
One raise hand. Okay. All right. Okay, that's fine. So we know when we are in trouble, normally we remember our gods when we are in trouble, right? Abhi Bodhi Puja, Deva Puja. We we tend to get the help, God's help when we are in trouble. So here we are putting another perspective that help yourself, innovate yourself when you are in trouble. So today the entire world is in trouble. Entire world is in trouble. Why? Because of the three main problems, three or four main problems that we discussed. So what do we have to do? We have to think fast and act fast and learn fast. Why? Innovation means speed, action, and learning. And we should be the first into the market to grab the immense opportunity. We call it blue ocean strategy. If we are the first to go to market with something, let's say there's a city that nobody is selling cakes. There's no cakery or maybe a baker in that particular city. The person who start the first baker in the market, she or she had the 100% of the market share. So likewise, if we are the first to the market, we have immense opportunity. But today, the entire marketplace, I mean, it's extensively cluttered. There are a lot of the players in the market today. So again, it's very easy to copy a business model. And today, I mean, again, if I talk about like 5 years down, 5 years back, the cupcake was not a big thing. But today, every corner in our villages, in any part of the country, we have cupcake makers. But are they produce the same thing? I mean, are they really good as the same? Again, no, right? Somehow make it like very extraordinary. Sometimes we go, oh, wow, that melts in the mouth like anything. So we get the feel of the cake from the first bite itself. So likewise, here we need to see how can we be the first to the market, or else how could we add value? Now I'm talking to the people who are coming from the working backgrounds. You are attached to a company, you might be attached to a company. So are you holding the market position number one in this market in Sri Lanka? Or are you holding the second place or the third place? If not, you have a way to go. Let's imagine you are holding the number one position in your market for some reason. But think about where does the second player is playing at this moment. If you don't have a big gap, they will easily overtake you. The classic example, again, I'm mentioning Nokia. Being too big is not a reason to be failed, or maybe to be I mean, the wiped out from the customer, in the marketplace. If you are not innovative enough, again, you will lose the market share. So that's why we need to think fast, act fast, learn fast, because waiting for the proper time, auspicious time, is it's a thing in the past. Today we have to think. I mean, get some good idea, and you have to do a market research. Again, we are not going like a blind man in the market. Again, why? We don't have to do that because we have a lot of opportunities, lot of tools. If we talk about AI, ChatGPT for writing a business proposal, we can use Claude for doing a proper competitor analysis, and we can use Gamma for preparing slides. But this slide deck is not generated on Gamma. I have another set prepared on Gamma in 2 minutes. I'll show you that as well. But I couldn't get my whole idea into this one, so I kept aside that one. But end of the session, I might go through to show how wonderful it was. Here, we have enough and more tools to take ourselves faster into the marketplace. So are we taking the best out of them? Are we making the use out of them? So that is where our personal innovative index lies on. because I address about the entrepreneurs who are working for companies. Now let's look at individuals who are our grads, who are in the universities at this moment. Have you analyzed yourself? Have you analyzed yourself? Do you know what are your potential is? Do you know where you want to get into? What are the fields? What are the companies? Do you have the list of preferred companies that you want to get employed after your graduation? Maybe only intern time. Do you have the first 10 companies right in front of your table, or maybe somewhere in your journal or somewhere? So have you done the background search? Why company A? Why not B? B might be market capitalization, it will be slightly lower, but for your perspective, your passion, it might be the best suitable company. Have you done your assessment about yourself? How? Using AI tools, what we have at the moment. It's not about the ideas, it's about the making ideas happen. You might get an idea to do, analyzing these all the tools and all. So then you have to make it or get it worked out. So how? This is where we call self-innovation. This part is mostly for our grads. So you should be self-innovating yourself. How often you have to self-innovate? How often you have to self-innovate? Again, I'll innovate after my graduation. No way, right? Because I couldn't find that small clip over here on the YouTube Shorts, but I couldn't make a track. Otherwise, I would have played over here. But this famous doctor in AI, Dr. Hiran, was talking about 4 years of university syllabus could be completed, covered in 6 months using the available tools, mainly AI, like Notebook LM. You can put all these your study materials, notes, web links, blog links, YouTube videos, and you can prepare your own repository, your entire semester's work. And on the other side, you can prompt Notebook LM to prepare me a mock paper. I mean, back in the days, we are going for senior students, senior IL අක්කලාගේ පිටිපස්සේ යනවා පරණ pass papers තියෙනවද කියලා බලන සමහරට අපිට print out photocopy machine campus එක photocopy shop එකේ ඕන තරම් තියෙන pass papers ඒවා. Now we don't have to do that. We know what to do. We just need the material dumped into the notebook LM. Otherwise, it will run their search. It will run search web and get the materials which are not relevant. So, if you want to be precise about the learned curriculum, you can dump your this one. So, likewise, innovate. And again, when you work with your LLM, let's say ChatGPT for some time, ChatGPT knows a lot about ourselves. But again, don't depend 100%. There are some privacy issues will be there, and there are some hallucination situations where ChatGPT will create, because these LLMs are the AI engines are created to please the user. They want to make the user happy. Because of that, sometimes they will create stories like small kids. Sometimes small kids create stories to impress parents. Sometimes it's not the same, the actual, or maybe that's not the truth. So that's what the LLMs are also doing. So, but we can use it to understand ourselves, maybe to understand our hidden talents on our search terms, because LLM will keep a good proper track about the areas that we study. So that's why there was a challenge, or whatever the trend came a couple of months back, where this AI image is generated holding like in multiple which was relevant to, which was replicating our position or whatever the work that we did, that we do. So that is a simple example of that. So somehow or another, we have to, the most important thing is self-innovating ourselves. Even at workplaces, forget about the company, organization. If the organization is not innovative enough, but within the organization, you can take this leadership. That is what, when you, I mean, if you are studying business strategies and philosophies, this innovative leadership has become the most regarded leadership skill ethos. We say we have this the captain. There are I can't remember the names. There are 4 5 types of leadership skills that we discuss in management. Out of which innovative leadership has taken over the most of the other leadership types. The innovative leaders will set the organization culture to innovate. That means the organization will sustain for a very long time. With if we find our position, if we become self-innovative all the time, so how do we secure position in the market? Maybe you as a student, maybe you as an employee, when maybe as a candidate in an interview table, you have to secure your position. So to be the best, how do you become the best out of what you do in the area that you do? Let's imagine architect. If you are an architect, maybe you are you want to get into green economy consultations, right? You want to become a green auditor. What are the niches? What are the value additions that you can provide to your customer, maybe client, maybe organizations, where others cannot? So that is where we can use these technologies, especially technology in sense, not only AI, there are enough and more other tools as well. So why this is over here? Let me play this. Okay, yeah.
Big tech doesn't want you to know yet. He posted a visualization, and within hours, the GitHub repo was gone. 342 jobs, ranked by how easily AI can replace them. Scored from 0 to 10. High paying, secure careers are the most exposed. Software, law, finance, all.
So this person, let me
Jobs are more at risk than low income ones. So why did he pull the repo down? Bad data or backlash he didn't want to deal with? Did it hit too close to the truth? Andre Karpathy accidentally revealed something big tech doesn't want you to know.
Andre Karpathy, he's a founder of ChatGPT. And a couple of weeks back, you might have seen on the it was drooling around on all the social media platforms, and he came up with a report highlighting the job categories which are in risk, right? So interestingly, most of the jobs, high-paying jobs, are at risk. Not simple, at major risk, as you see. Sorry, over here.
Posted a visualization, and within hours, the GitHub repo was gone. 342 jobs, ranked by how easily AI can replace them. Scored from 0 to 10. High paying, secure careers are the most exposed. Software, law,
finance. So these jobs are at high risk. So how, again, if you're in one of these categories, you should innovate to secure your position. That's a key message over here. So now, how can we do that? So it doesn't mean that we have to change our job. No, innovation is not that. You can reskill. We can develop ourselves. So that is the winning formula. So how can we face this challenge basically? What's the winning formula? First of all, know your passion, live your dream. So this is mostly, this will be more relevant for our grads because you are on the verge of in the time that you uh, just a second. On the verge of inventing yourself. And secondly, stay relevant, upskill and reskill. How? Again, if you heard about this micro learning, there's a thing called coming up with as a micro learning. Micro learning, like this Udemy, and there are some other very so many online platforms where you have to learn like 2-3 minutes per day that you can complete. You can attend a session while you are traveling in the bus, or maybe if you are riding a bicycle, don't do that. But just saying that, I mean, there are a lot of learning materials available on internet. Uh, you have to find according to your passion, or maybe the area that you want to work. You might have a passion, but there's another perspective out of this one. If you analyze the trending areas in the global economy on the job market, you can focus one of them as well. You might say, okay, my thing is just the creativity. I can do some sewing of dresses and all. Maybe that's my key area. This is my passion. But there's no, I can't find a good job opportunities. There's no job market. So what I'm supposed to do initially, if you want to, okay, I can join a law firm. In that case, if I don't have the required knowledge, you can use one of these micro learning platforms to upskill and reskilling. Udemy is one of them. Allison is one of them. Allison is entirely free. If you want to get the certificate only, you have to pay like $1 or $2. There are a lot of areas. And LinkedIn Learning, again, learning will membership will take. We have to. It's a paid membership most probably. Other than that, even through if you subscribe proper channels on TikTok, it will be a learning platform itself. Because if you, I mean, other than that, we can use our LLM, ChatGPT, or Gemini or Claude for learning. You can say that, okay, I want to become a intermediate skills person in the software development, or in it UX and UI, or as green economy concept. Give me a learning path. It will create that, okay, first week this is what you have to do, and second week this is what you have to do. So likewise, I can show you some of the learning parts that was developed by myself. Let's imagine self-learning AI programs. So this will create a timetable, 2 to 3 hours per day, or maybe per week, and it will give you a comprehensive learning curriculum. So that is where we can use, see, 6 months, publish papers, start counseling, and all this one. There's the AI CRM, and also that is how we can use these technologies to innovate ourselves, the self-innovation, right? Right. So, right. Just a second. Give me a second. There's one of the videos getting hanged up.
When any issue? Got stuck?
Hear me?
Yes, you're audible. Yeah.
Thank you. And sorry about the interruption. Yeah, good to go once again. So I was talking about this Andrea Karpathy's report, and mostly the people who are working in front of a computer, they have a higher chance of losing their job or maybe replaced by an AI, whatever, bot or an AI agent. That doesn't mean that if you are just working in front of a computer, next day, tomorrow, you have to get a hammock and go to the field and work down there. No way. Still, that's not going to be sustainable. If we are to go to the field, agriculture field, there's a need of taking a smart devices. So you should carry the digital literacy to sustain in this market, because the competition is out there. We just not like traditional farmers. So the agriculture is making a big changing market position in a bigger way. It's not like that. So people should have their necessary skills. So that's why we need to follow the industry trend. Whatever the industry, are you into agri, are you into green economies, are you into development, biomedicals, cosmetics, whatever it is, cooking? So the content is overloaded. We have social media. So we should select a proper channels out of our convenience to keep updated. Keeping updated in this field is a most important thing. Again, if I take my very most used example, dinosaurs, they were really big and they were really strong, but we believe if they were dinosaurs in this world, there are some controversial arguments per se, that's something else, but they were really big, strong, but they are not, they couldn't survive in the world. But the small cockroaches who are coming from the same at that point of time, they are still surviving the world because they were adaptable. They were highly adaptable. So likewise, if we want to be in the market, අපි කියනවා game එකේ ඉන්න නම් අපි මේක update වෙලා ඉන්න ඕනේ. ඊට පස්සේ තව තියෙන දෙයක් තමයි, so we call it, there was a thing like there's a thing called the generalist, a jack of all trades, good for nothing. That was the old saying. But today, generalists are the most required people in the world. It's not just like one thing. We should have some other skills as well. This guy, this young chap, came up from nowhere and he mastered the art of content creation and blended up with cooking and with his creativity, that part, innovativeness and the creativity. So they can once everything is connected, he could easily overtake the major channels. I don't want to name, maybe we have some personal connections with them as well. But however, this person was able to overtake everyone by becoming innovative in the field. And now you might think, okay, how on earth we don't have this creativity, or we might be in a blockage at this moment. There are a lot of contents out there. So how do we find which channel to pursue our career and pursue ourselves? So that is where this proven theory comes into the picture. That is where this framework that we can use, this framework to make a differentiation and find our position. So we call it design thinking framework. This is a industry proven framework which has been used by larger conglomerates, corporates in worldwide, even in Coca-Cola, even Tesla. They use this design thinking framework. This is a very basic format of it in this framework for generating ideas. It will start with empathizing. Empathize, it means we should empathize how the other person, the receiving person, would see. So we call it the other way around. මේක සිංහලෙන් කියනට වැඩිපුර අපි අනිත් කනුස්සයාට මේක දැනන විදිය පොඩ්ඩක් හිතලා බලන්න ඕනේ. අපි කියන අනිත් මනුස්සයාගේ සපත් දෙකට බහැලා බලන්න ඕනේ කියලා. මොකද එයාගේ තියෙන ප්‍රශ්නේ තේරුම් ගන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්නේ එයාට. එතකොට if we want to create a solution, first we should understand what my customer is expecting for. හිතන්න මංග කඩයක් පොඩි කඩයක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්, සුපර් මාකට් එකක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. මොනවාද මේකට එන කස්ටමර්ට මේකේ තියෙන අපියරන්ස් එක කොහොමද දැනෙන්නේ, මේකේ ඉන්න ස්ටාෆ් එක කොච්චර හොඳට කතා කරනවා කියලා දැනෙන්නේ කොහොමද? මෙන්න මෙතනින් තමයි පටන් ගන්න එම්පතයිසින් කෑල්ල. එතනින් පටන් ගත්තාම we'll start from empathizing about the customer, then we'll define, okay, this customer wants this one. The chocolate තියෙන ෆ්‍රේම් එක රැක් එකේ සාමාන්‍ය උස පොඩි ළමයෙක්ට ගන්න පුළුවන් උසක තියෙන්න ඕනේද, උසක ඊට වඩා උඩින් තියෙන්න ඕනේද? අපිට එන්න කඩේට එන කෙනා පොඩි ළමයි චොක්ලට් කන්න ඕනේ නැත්නම් අපි කුඩින් තියනවා. ඒකට parents like කැමති උනොත් විතරයි අරන් තියන්නේ. So we'll define, empathize and we'll define what to do with this one. And we test it. අපි එක සතියක් එක රැක් එක තියලා බලනවා. ඊට පස්සේ ඊට උඩ තට්ටිය තියලා ඊගාව සතිය බලනවා. We test it. Then we ideate with the solution and we'll build a prototype. අපි prototype එක දාලා ඊට පස්සේ ආපහු කස්ටමර්ට මේක යවලා බලනවා, එම්පතයිස් කරන්න. මේක තමයි සමහරට අපිට ටෙස්ටිං සාම්පල්ස් එන ඉස්සර නම් අපිට ඔයගොල්ලෝ මතකද Windows එකේ we got beta versions to test on our computers, then we have to give comments. So likewise we empathize about the customer or the receiving person's expectation. Based on that we define the solution, we ideate solution, we prototype, test and empathize. Otherwise we define and test and ideate, and this is a iterating process. මේ process එකේ මෙහෙම ගිහිල්ලා තමයි අපි හරි solution එකක් market එකට එන්නේ. අපි කතා කරනවා there are certain, there are a number of products which came to the market by accident. Mercury, penicillin, very old days, and Coca-Cola formula, even this one KFC formula. They were testing, empathizing and testing, so prototyping. So this is how a design thinking framework works. Now imagine if you are working for a company, if you have if you are a customer, try to empathize what my customer is expecting by using my product. Let's imagine a shampoo. If you put that particular brand of shampoo which is available in the market, if you are not getting the expected results, silkiness වෙන්න පුළුවන්, dandruffs නැති වෙන වෙන්න පුළුවන්, ඒක නැති වෙන්නේ නැත්නම් ඒ product එක failure එකක්. එතකොට ඒක හදන company එක දැනගන්න ඕනේ, okay, my customer is not getting the benefit of that one. So we have to refine the formula, and that's called Innovate. Sometimes packaging. If you know, like a package එකක් තිබ්බ ඔයගොල්ලෝ අර මොනවාද මේ layers chip, potato chip එක තිබ්බ packet එක ඉස්සලා market එකට ආපුවාම there was a problem. During the transportation මේක කුඩු වෙලා crush වෙලා අන්තිමට chips මේ potato powder තමයි මුලදිම මේ ගොල්ලොන්ට තිබ්බ ප්‍රශ්නයක් transportation එකේදී. Then they came up with innovative ideas. අපි අද සුපර් මාකට් එකට ගිහලා බැලුවොත් එහෙම අපි අර කසාව මඤ්ඤොක්ක පෙති තියෙන පැකට් එකක් ගත්තත් ඒක layers එකෙන් පස්සේ ආපු එකක් මාකට් එකට. but ඒක හරි ලස්සනට අර පැකට් එක කොට්ටේ වගේ තියෙනවානේ. It's puffy ඇතුළ කැඩිලා නැහැ. හොඳට අපිට crispiness එක තියෙනවා open කරපු ගමන්. You can feel we can hear the shaking sound. Why? Then they started putting nitrogen. gas එක දාපුවම පැකට් එකත් ලස්සනට eye catching විදියට තියෙනවා rack එකේ. ඒ වගේම transportation එකේදී damage වෙන්නේ නැහැ. So where did they get this idea? So nitrogen is something, I can't remember the exact composition of the gas. I think if I'm not mistaken, it's nitrogen. So a format of nitrogen. So it is somewhere there, and the chip is from the food and beverage market. They combined them together and they were able to produce the nice go-to-market package, which is 100% success. So likewise, if you are a grad, if you want to get into because we saw some of the expectations on your feedback forms. If you want to get into a job related to ESG, empathize the employer. If I am a company, if I'm hiring an ESG intern or maybe a manager to run my ESG activities for my company, you as a candidate, you have to empathize. Okay, what could be my companies expecting from a candidate? So you can advise, you can use this one, use an LLM and say, okay, I'm getting prepared for my interview, and what are the questions I should be ready with. And that is for normal interviews. But to add the icing on the cake, to make your differentiation to the next level, they say, what are the other benefits that I can provide to my organization? Because organizations today, they will pay us a wage, but they will be expecting more in return. So that's the way of the world. If can be a jack of everything, I can run my CSR project, I can run my ESG report for annual reporting part, I can run my Vesak Dansala karanda puluwan. So those are the people that we require. So that is where we need people who can perform multiple tasks. So here I have a small video. Let's spend 2 minutes and see how this design thinking framework really works in practice.
Design strategy is about thinking differently, putting yourself in your customer's shoes.
Can you hear the voice of this video? Can someone?
Yeah, it's audible. Yeah.
Yeah. Can, right? Okay, right. Okay.
Solutions that not only fit their needs but delight them by empathizing through observing people in real-life scenarios like shopping, or through open-ended interviews to uncover what people do rather than what they want. Because if you ask people what they want, they don't necessarily know. By immersing yourself in your customer's world, you can understand their needs, gains and pains. How? 1. Empathize. Immerse yourself in your customer's world. 2. Define the non-obvious insights. 3. Ideate. Brainstorm solutions. 4. Prototype. Build an MVP, minimum viable product, of ideas in the shortest possible time. Then take those prototypes back to your customers and ask what they think. Design strategy starts with the customer, then offers the solution, not the other way around. For example, an Australian supermarket chain wanted to design a unique, engaging in-store experience to further set them apart from competitors. So we followed their customers around, interviewed them, and watched what was happening in store over a considerable period. Customers wanted to feel more connected with the suppliers of their produce, an in-store experience they couldn't find elsewhere. One of the winning ideas was an in-store milk dispenser with old-style glass milk bottles. Customers fill the bottles with single-origin high-quality milk. They can see details of the cows and farms that produced it, with assurance the suppliers receive a better price. This experience delights customers and is very successful.
It's all about understand the customer. And I'll give you one of the real example that I had to go through in one of my consultation with one of the companies. They were distributing engine oils for vehicles. They were not the first into the market, but their product was quality highly was performing very well in when it's put to the vehicles. and the price was competitive. But the service stations, they were not they were not preferred to buy this product, and we had to go to the market and we had to conduct a market research, and we had to get the real ideas from these people on the service stations. And on the only one thing came up on the we could reveal, we can understood out of this research, the lid is not user friendly. So most of the computer products, they had a proper spout and they can easily put into the engine. So this one, they had to, there were two seals. I mean, they had to break, which is for I mean, the main purpose was to keep the freshness of the product. But ultimately, the service staff, the technicians, they were not willing to spend that time, take the burden of making the two lids and making a funnel to use it. So there was only one thing that we had to go back and change, just packaging. So, but we can't say that is a customer. That's what customer wanted. So then again, there are, when you look at the technology, the innovations, there are research and development and will come to the market. The product will be introduced to the market, like the phone and the touch phone. And today we are talking about the AI. I mean, we were not expecting, we didn't ask for AI to come this far, but research and development, they came up with this massive, I mean, the breakthrough technology. They started producing from data centers and all, and they put in the market. First, it was given free of charge. Now they are charging $20 per premium. Otherwise, half of the work cannot be done. But the next month, next year, it could be like $50. Still we have to pay sometimes. Why? We are so used to use these technologies for our comfort, and we can't get over it. Sometimes market will find out what is required by the market. So let's say biscuits, let's say washing powder, we should be performing properly, and we should clean the greasy dresses easily. So manufacturing, they will research the market and it will come as a product. And now we know how to run this innovation framework, design thinking principles. And now you might see, okay, I want to innovate. I know how to innovate using this principle. And how do I find a problem in the market? So that is where we come to this page. ESGs and, these UN SDG goals these are the globally identified major problems in the world, right? Because environmental, so whatever the business that we do, we should take care of environment. Otherwise, there won't be a world that we can live, we can breathe, we can enjoy 25 years down the time. Social community, we need people. Just imagine for some second reason, if a nuclear bomb landed in Colombo, our social and community, we would be just dust, right? So governance, we are talking about the ethical practices. We use AI, and after the AI summit, India signed up an agreement with ChatGPT to make AI governance, government AI policy to be launched in India. They have signed up this one. So they are putting it nicely, package it with the guardrails, proper ethics and proper privacy policies only. They will implement this one. So then we have this GD. Let's imagine, sorry. If you are a student who's into food science, and if you want to innovate, and you can see under this HGT GOTI, no hunger, there's a movement. And after the pandemic, there are several schools in Sri Lanka. We have children in the grade 5 and below who are not getting a proper meal because of the economic crisis. And if you can be innovative enough to make, I would say, food, this just for an concept purpose only, like a yogurt cup kind of a food, you can put it to a hot water and make it not a soup like Maggie kind of, but something better than that with proper nutrition and all. So that will be your innovation. And then again, you have to package it. You have to come with you have to come up with the concept, and you have to produce it. You should go to the market and deliver. You have to come up with the proper delivery channel to take it to these needy people. And for that, there's no requirement of you coming up with this logistics plan. You can talk to another company. Again, it might be a friend of yours who's working as who wants to pick up a innovative logistics plan, combining the bus, train, whatever, boat service and all, something like that. Those are all possibilities that we see, that we interact daily basis, but that we really don't put our thoughts into it to make it a commercially viable solution. So here, when we identify these the problems, we can be innovative enough using our core strength. It could be food science, agri-science, your IT expertise, maybe your graphic designing expertise knowledge. And if you are passionate about working with people, if you are a psychologist, counselor, and if you can develop IoT devices, there are a lot of opportunities. And I don't have a slide. There's another thing. If you come up with an idea, you might say, okay, I have this marvelous idea. I have done the prototyping as well. Maybe using a 3D printer, maybe cardboard, forms එකතු කරලා ඉස්කෝලේ විද්‍යාව exhibition එක හදලාගේ prototype එකක් හදලා තියෙනවා වෙන්න පුළුවන්. Now, you might have a problem. How do I make it commercially viable product? ඔයගොල්ලන්ට bank එකකට යන්න පුළුවන්ද? අපිට bank එකට යන්න පුළුවන්ද? බෑ. මොකද bank එකේ අපිට loan එකක් දෙන්නේ නැහැ. මොකද loan එකට ගන්න ගියපම deed එකයි ගොඩක් දේවල් අලුතෙන් scheme එකක් තියෙනවා. I don't know how it works properly. So, but there's a thing called crowdfunding platforms. If you have an idea, there are enough and more අපි කියනවා incubators. මගේ last slide එකක් තියෙනවා මම මේක mention කරන්න. So we have to make it අපි මොනවාද ඔයගොල්ලෝ TV එකේ මෙහෙම බලලා සමහරට කෝටියක් වටින අදහසක්. එහෙම නැත්නම් Shark Tank. Those are some very good TV programs, TED Talk programs which is available on YouTube. You can refer them and you can ignite yourself. How to find, after finding a solution, how to articulate it in a solution product, how to make it commercialized. Delivery part එක touch කරේ නැත්නම් අපේ idea එක අපිත් එක්කම ඉවර වෙලා යනවා කවුරු හරි ඒක පාස් කරලා ගත්තොත් එහෙම. ඊට පස්සේ අපි මේ දකින දේවල්. So greenhouse ලංකාවේ it took like a storm and I'm really happy that it's really happening. What is this? You know, I mean, this is a biogas project. Here, biogas project, I mean, as I told you, when you have problems, only we started becoming innovative enough, or maybe becoming hacks. So we can convert one of the barrels අපි ගාව ගෙදර පිටිපස්සේ නැදලා biogas එකක් හදාගන්න පුළුවන් for our domestic consumptions, but it won't be a commercial, I mean, it won't be an innovation unless otherwise we make it commercialized. In that case, we should be able to replicate the solution and sell it to the customer. So there as අපි ගත්තොත් එහෙම ස්පාසිලෝන් කානේ කියන දෙක අපි මේ innovation journey එකේ ලංකාව ගත්තාම අපිට අමතක කරන්න බෑ. Why? ස්පාසිලෝන් එකේ කතා කරන්නේ there was a major problem with our Ayurvedic cosmetics. Right? Ayurvedic cosmetics. They were really good as of features and they were performing well. But the smell was not that good. අපිට ආයුර්වේද ක්‍රීම් එකක් බාම් එකක් දාගෙන ඔෆිස් එකකට තෙල් ටිකක් දාගත්තොත් සතියකටත් ඔෆිස් එකට යන්න වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ තිබ්බ හොඳ quality එකේ oil එකක් දැම්මොත්. For this guy came up with the innovation, took the traditional මොනවාද මේ quality of the extracts, Ayurvedic medicine and all, and make it like a commercially usable, can a daily basis එකට use කරන්න පුළුවන් විදිහට product එකකට මේක innovate කරා. Use the basics and innovated to a commercially, practically product. Carnage මොකද කරේ sports wear, athleisure කියන product එකක්. Athletics and office එකට තමයි යන්න පුළුවන් athleisure product range එක they came up with. So all these problems, the solutions, innovations, they were addressing one particular problem. Here, food. අපිට droughts වල නැත්නම් heavy rains වල we couldn't grow a crop properly. So came up with this solution. And there are a number of companies operating in Sri Lanka who provides these polytunnels, right? So that is a major innovation. So අපි මෙම ගත්තාම මේ ඉනෝවේෂන් කියන කෑල්ල මෙතනින් ඉවරයිද?
India is wasting energy every single day, and you don't even see it. Not from coal, not from solar, from air. Every car that passes you, every truck on a highway, every gust between buildings creates energy that just disappears. Now, here's the interesting part. There's a company called Aeroleaf. They've built something that looks like a tree, but each leaf is actually a micro.
So likewise, we are not talking about like heavy wind turbines. Why not micro level? So this one, can't we use plastic bottles and reformat into these devices? Again, it shouldn't be a hack. We should develop in a way that we can reproduce and commercialize. Otherwise, it won't be a good solution. So here, so now, how could we use these IoTs or the technological development? IoT means like Internet of Things. It means one device that is connected to internet and it will be monitoring some parameter. Think about a smart city. We need to monitor the traffic level, air quality, and the passengers. And based on that, we can automate our traffic lights. In the morning, it can give a time lapse where entering vehicles to be taken the priority, and in the evening, which are exiting the city, should be given the priority likewise. So once these systems are automated, and this is what we do in building management systems. I mean, in my case, where I provide in my company, we provide automated building management and the lighting control solutions for commercial and even residential buildings. That air conditioning system will monitor whether my cooling is required at what level, and it will be reduce certain level of cut down unwanted energy wastage. That will be a benefit into the ESG report. So if you are into electronics, the Arduino will cost somewhere around 400, less than 2000 rupees. You can put a small sensor and it will be easily, there are enough and more free platforms, IoT platforms in make available in the market, in the web. So we can connect your device and you can test it. As a one you prove your concept, we call it POC, proof of concept, then you can find a proper investor, or else you can sell it to you can combine with a veteran in that particular field. So if you have the capacity of developing IoT devices, you can combine with the agri specialist and you can come up with a solution, innovative solutions, how to manage a crop, what is the essential level of water which is required, fertilizer level, and how to treat the plant. And today we are talking about providing the basic factors like sun, water, and fertilizer. What are the other unseen the areas which are under research? Whether the workers are supportive enough, supporting to increase the crop development. අපි කියනවනේ කටහඬ ඇහෙනකොට ගස්වල ගෙඩි හදන වැඩි කළ. Has it been properly researched? Can you do that? If it works, can you not put some speakers in that particular frequency, and we can increase the productivity? And what about the poultry? Let's say the egg farms, breeding farms. Can we not add another layer? That is where visionary comes into. So there are a lot of research being done, but it's not enough. If we look at around us, there are enough and more opportunities. Automation and AI is coming in a big way. Digital skills, you need to, again, it's not limited for the Word, Excel, letter writing, email writing era is gone. We should have proper soft skills. Soft skills, mainly communication skills. If you see the best people, the top-notch, top-level people in the world today, Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook, Sundar Pichai, Jeff Bezos, Satya Nadella, and these people, there are one skills they have mastered. Even Steve Jobs, they are very good speakers, right? Somehow or another, we have to pick up our communication skills. Even if you want to talk to AI engine, LLM, we have to write a proper prompt. අපි කියන prompting engineering level 4 prompting, level 2 prompting, single shot prompting, and there are a lot of techniques that you can easily use with a if you go to YouTube. And then again, self innovation, how to use an AI engine properly. නැත්තම් මම ගහන prompt එකයි එහා පැත්තේ ගහන එක්කෙනාගේ prompt එකයි වෙනස් වුණොත් අපි දෙන්නට results දෙකක්. එක්කෙනෙක්ට හොඳ result එකක් එනවා, අනිත් එක්කෙනාට එන්නේ නැහැ. මොකද අපේ යුනිවර්සිටි එකේ ඉන්න ළමයි හොඳට දන්නවා ඇතිනේ කොහොමද මේ assignment එකක් කරගන්නේ කියලා AI එකේ. සමහරවිට අපි කිව්වොත් එහෙම we need zero hallucination with legitimate citation කිව්වොත් අන්න citation එකත් එක්ක දැන් වෙනකොට ලස්සනට ඒට කියනවා. අපි නැත්තත් කියම give me a essay on this topic වචන 1000යි කිව්වොත් එහෙම that's it. So that's about, again, soft skills has gone to another level. Again, we need personal innovation to be a master in this era. Again, if you don't know coding, let's say you have some lovely idea, you have come up with a good concept to monitor the growth of a plant, let's say chili plant, whatever it is, and you want to develop a app for that. And back in the days, if you don't know how to code, how to develop an app, you have to take the support from another friend. Friend කෙනෙක් ඉස්සලාම කියපුවා ඕක මම කරලා දෙන්නම් මගේ free time එකේ කියලා මුලදී enthusiastically offer කරනවා. හැබැයි ඊට පස්සේ දවසේ සතියක් විතර ගියපුවම interest එකත් ඉවරයි, man හොයාගන්නත් නැහැ, app එක වෙන්නෙත් නැහැ, අපේ idea එකත් ඉවරයි. But now if you have the subject knowledge about the plants and the plant development, you can use vibe coding or maybe automation. Just using the simple plain English, you can create your app. So that is how AI have given wings of Red Bull. AI has given the wings for any of the subject experts. If I have agri knowledge, if I don't have the software knowledge, still I would be able to come up with some sort of a app for my application to prove my from my POC. So I don't have to go behind the app developer. So likewise, these are the areas that I would like to talk in this session. I just want to ignite you why innovation is important, and we started with why now. This is a critical time. If you want to stand as a strong person after this calamity is over, hopefully maybe next before the end of 25, let's wish and pray or do everything to get forsaking the blessings to get ourselves into a normal routine life. And by then අපි මේ වෙලාව වෙනකොට අපි අපේ ස්කිල් එක අපි අපිව ඉනෝවේට් කරගෙන අපේ ඕගනයිසේෂන්ස් ඉනෝවේට් කරගෙන අපි ස්ට්‍රැටජි ගිහලා ඉන්න ඕනේ. අපි ඉනෝවේට් කරන්න දන්නේ නැත්නම් අපි දැන් දන්නවා how to use this formula design thinking term, and we know how to find a problem. මේ problem එක ඔයාගේ address කරන්න ඕනේ area එකකට තමන්ගේ comfortable තමන්ගේ passion එක තියෙන area එක කරන්න. එතකොට අපේ job එක එපා වෙන්නේ නැහැ කවදාවත්, right? So that's something that we have to see. And with this one, I need to end up with a small video where some of our very recent innovators conquered the world, okay, in the software space.
ගමනක් ගිහිල්ලා සිංගප්පූල කාස්ට් ෆයිනෑන්ස් කියන එකට එක්සිට් කරා. දැන් ඒගොල්ලොන්ගේ මෙහෙ ඩෙවලොප්මන්ට් සෙන්ටර් එකක් තියෙනවා, මිනිස්සු 100ක් විතර වැඩ කරන one goal face එකේ. දැන් ඒ කම්පැනි මිලියන 500ක් විතර වටිනවා දැන්. ඩොලර් මිලියන 500ක් විතර වටිනවා දැන්. ඊට පස්සේ දැන් මේ ළඟදී Wealth OS කියන කම්පැනිට අපි ඉන්වෙස්ට් කරනකොට ඒගොල්ලොත් හරි මුල කාලේ චමත්ත නැන්ටන් JP Morgan acquire කරා ඒගොල්ලන්ව. ඉතින් ඒගොල්ලන්වත් අපිට හම්බුනේ මුල කාලේ. හැබැයි අපි දැක්ක ගමන්
right. So that's what a startup is called. JP Morgan you know, this is one of the largest player in the global financial arena. So two Sri Lankan guys developers were able to sell their product to JP Morgan. And this person who's talking in this video is an investor, angel investor. And there are people who are looking for good ideas. They have wealth developed from maybe from any other businesses, from a tea plantation, whatever, transportation or whatever it is. So now they are willing to invest in a startups like you can come up with. If you have a brilliant idea and if we can show the commercialization of this idea, and if you're keen to put yourself to develop the product to the next level, these people will put money because they know it's a good investment. Innovation is a good investment rather than putting the investing money in a bank on a 10% on annual interest. It might be, sometimes it might be double or triple, maybe 10 times if we invest on a good innovation. Right. So that's it. So I hope you got something, some ideas. Maybe you might be really confused by now. So I hope not. So if you have any questions, please feel free to take them forward.
Yeah, it's a Q&A time. Okay. So you can ask the questions directly, unmuting, and you can speak to Mr. Wenura, or you can forward them to the chat box. Are you all there? Can we have a reaction or yes in the chat? Are you still there? That was a fantastic session and very important session, and I'm really thankful for Wenura for conducting such a inspiring session, and even I learned a lot. And so, as a majority of our participants are from undergraduates, as per the registration form, so we would like to hear from you. You may have questions about the session. Okay. And another note is, so attendance sheet will be shared once the Q&A session is over. So you need to fill it to secure your certificate. Otherwise, don't send text and ask for the certificate. You won't receive it. You have to fill the form. Okay, any questions? Okay, there's one. As a civil engineer, these innovative ideas may cost too much, but how can we implement ideas by proving?
Right. When you look at the civil engineering perspective, I need to add this part. The knowledge difference, I mean, is with the ongoing setting of these AIs and all, the knowledge gap is gonna be what? What do you think? The knowledge gap between the countries who have high GDPs and the developing on the poor countries like us is gonna be widened. So that's a bitter truth. I mean, we can see like, okay, AI is there, but I mean, now if if you have used ChatGPT for quite some time, you might see that the free version is not performing well. Why? Maybe they have cut down the number of tokens given free of charge, or maybe we are so used to the facilities. Now we are prompted to purchase at least a $20 subscription. What if if it is increased to $10, sorry, $50, we won't be able to, I mean, we might not be able to purchase it. So here we need to see what we can do with the little within the, I mean, if you are a student, if you are not attached to a company yet, you need to see, again, we have to be strategic and we should be innovative enough how to use the free tokens effectively. So in that case, you can use it for innovating new materials. And today I saw in African students, they have come up with a new material to repair potholes. පාරේ තියෙන වලවල් හදන්න new material එකක් ගෙනලා තිනවා tar base එකක්, which is self healing material එකක්. formula එක generate කරන්න අරන් තිබ්බේ බයෝමෙඩිකල් වල තියෙන ෆෝමියුලා එක අරගෙන ඒක රෙප්ලිකේට් කරන්න තමයි යූස් කරලා තිබ්බේ AI engine එක which was a free use. එහෙම නැත්නම් අපි structural engineers ගැන civil කතා කරන AutoCAD එකේ එහෙම 3D version එකක් ගත්තොත් එහෙම ඇත්තටම ගොඩක් designing වලට මේක use කරන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි the license cost is really expensive at the moment. ඇයි ඒගොල්ලෝ කරන්නේ? මොකද මේ කවුරුත් අපිට දෙවියන් වහන්සේ දෙනා වගේ අර නැත්නම් නිකන් දෙන්න නෙමෙයි බලන්නේ මේක ඒගොල්ලන්ට බිස්නස් එකක් විතරයි. එතකොට ඉනිෂියලි මේක පොඩ්ඩක් දීලා අපි අර මේක අපිට ඉන්ට්‍රස්ට් එක ඇති කරලා පස්සේ ඇයි යුනිවර්සිටි එකට ෆ්‍රී මොඩියුල්ස් එවන්නේ කම්පනීස් වලින්. I mean, I used to work for a French multinational company. I was an electrical engineer by profession. So we used to give free samples for universities. ඇයි ස්ටුඩන්ට්ස් ලා ඒකත් එක්ක ප්ලේ කරලා බ්‍රෑන්ඩ් එක ප්‍රොඩක්ට් එක ෆැමිලි වුණා මේගොල්ලෝ ඉන්ඩස්ට්‍රි එකට ගිහපම් පර්චේස් කරන්න ගිහපම් හොයන්නේ මා අර බ්‍රෑන්ඩ් එකේ මේ බ්‍රේකර් එක දෙන්න. Hey, you are so comfortable. So this is we should understand. Although there are some free tools, අපි කියන freebies පොඩ්ඩක් free ඉතුරු ටිකට සල්ලි ගෙවන්න ඕන. එතකොට මේකද ඉනිෂියලි බලන්න ඕනේ කැපැසිටි එක කොතනද තියෙන්නේ කියන එක දාගෙන ඒ වගේම හැම tool එකෙම තියෙනවා සමහරට license version නෙවෙයි open access තියෙන tools තියෙනවා හැබැයි ඒවත් use කරන්න ගියපුවම අපිට IT knowledge එකක් ටිකක් ඕන නැත්නම් install කරගන්න එහෙම බෑ හිර වෙනවා මොකද ඔය Google එකේ වගේ හැමදේම sockets ටික හරියට interconnectedness එක දෙන්නේ නැහැ open source ඒ වගේ හැබැයි feature wise අපිට මේ දේවල් equally හරි එහෙම නැත්නම් advanced level එකට හරි facilities නම් ගන්න පුළුවන්. But only thing is, again, we have to be innovative enough how to use the free items, not the free users. දන්නවා ඇති සෝරා කියන්නේ මොනවාද image නැත්නම් film generation product එකක් it was free of charge. ඒගොල්ලෝ තමයි Pixar එකට ඊට පස්සේ Disney World එකට මම software එක supply කරා ඒගොල්ලෝගේ animated movies හදන්න. අපි කියනවා Toy Story කියලා famous cartoon එකක් අහලා ගොඩක් දන්නවා ඇති. කියනවා මේ Toy Story එක හදන්න AI එක එන්න කලින් අවුරුදු 5ක් කම්පැනි එකට Pixar කම්පැනි එකට ගත වුණා 1000 මොනවාද engineers work කරා කියලා. Zora එකෙන් same thing could have done within a week with minimum number of 20-25 ඒගොල්ලෝ කතා කරන්නේ කොහොම හරි operators ලගෙන් කරන්න පුළුවන් voice over the ඔක්කොමත් එක්ක දාලා. හැබැයි last week 2 weeks back they shut down the operation. Why? It was too costly to run. දැන් ඒගොල්ලෝ free version එක අයින් කරලා they are just selling to animated film making production කරන companies වලට විතරයි. ඒතර අපිට මේ free and cost effective කියන එකේ සහ paid version එකේ final output එක එකම වෙයි කියලා අපිට බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්න පුළුවන්කමක් නැහැ. ඒතකොට අපි strategic වෙන්න ඕනේ මේකයි. හැබැයි අනිත් පැත්තට කිව්වොත් එහෙම අපි ගත්තොත් එහෙම frugal innovation පැත්ත එකේ කතා කරොත් එහෙම කතා කරන්නේ අපි ගොඩාක් spend කරලා ලොකුම output එක ගන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. ඒක තමයි මගේ slide එකෙත් කිව්වේ. Be simple enough. Go to market and prove yourself. Then you will be able to angel investor කෙනෙක් අරගෙන හරි නැත්නම් ඔයාටම මේකෙන් earn කරගෙන then you can develop your funds to buy the original license version. So that's the only solution that I could propose.
Yeah, thank you so much. Another question. It is observed that most of Sri Lanka do not tend to innovation. Sometimes there are schemes for such inventors or new developments. They do not end with commercialization, end with prototype. What might be the common reason for that, apart from financing?
Student කෙනෙක්ද නැත්නම් student
I think
I mean working professional
working professional. Yeah.
Right. Financial, whatever said and done in Sri Lankan organizations, the innovation එහෙම නැත්නම් investment එකේ short එක call කරන්නේ finance manager. If we can't convince the finance manager, head of finance, they will not invest. අපි තියනවානේ below 2 million නම් අපිට department එකට නැත්නම් general manager short එක මොනවාද decision එක call කරන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙම නැත්නම් ඉන් එහාට යනවා නම් it has to be on a board paper level. මෙතන ගියපුවාම financial controller proven ROI එකක් return on investment එකක් දෙන්න බැයි නම් report එක නැත්නම් අපිට මේක කරන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි අපිට කරන්න පුළුවන් දේ තමයි දැනට අපි ROI report එකක් generate කරගන්නත් අපිට we can use a latest technology model එකක් run කරලා ඊට පස්සේ අපිට මේක promising report එකක් දෙන්න පුළුවන්. අනිත් එක තමයි දැන් වෙනකොට public listed companies වලට ලොකු requirement එකක් වෙලා තියෙනවා. They should declare their environmental reports in their annual report. එහෙම නැත්නම් මේක අවශ්‍යතාවයක් වෙලා තියෙනවා. එතකොට if our innovation එක relate කරලා පෙන්වන්න පුළුවන් නම් ESG goal එකට හරි නැත්නම් SDG goal එකට හරි නැත්නම් Green Building Council related goal එකට හරි අපිට easily කියන්න බෑ මට finance controllers finance directors managers ලා convince කරන්න තියෙන opportunity එක වැඩි. අනිත් එක තමයි අපේ innovation කියන එක as a unfortunately අපේ ගොඩක් දුරට මේක ඉන්කල්කේට් වෙලා තියෙන ප්‍රමාණය හරිම අඩුයි. මොකද අපි පුරුදු වෙලා තියෙන්නේ අපි ප්‍රොඩක්ට් එකක් ගෙනල්ලා මේ සෙල් කරන්න. අපේ ඩෙවලොප්මන්ට්ස් කෑල්ල දැන් තමයි මේ පොඩ IT ෆීල්ඩ් එකේ I'm really happy. ඒක ගොඩක් ඩෙවලොප්මන්ට්ස් වෙනවා. but on a product level එකේ මොකද අපිට access to 3D printers නැහැ. අපිට commercially කාට හරි product එකක් idea එකක් තියෙනවා නම් ඒක Tinkercad හරි දාලා AutoCAD 3D model එකකට දාලා ගිහිල්ලා 3D print එකකින් මේක print කරලා prototype එකක් හදා ගන්නවා කියලා හිතුවොත් එහෙම මේකට තියෙන facilities නෑම නෙවෙයි අඩුයි එහෙම නැත්නම් ගණන් වැඩි. හැබැයි අපි ගත්තොත් එහෙම countries like Finland, German වගේ countries වල අපේ public library එක තියෙනවා වගේ තියෙනවා ඒගොල්ලෝගේ public workshops. ඒ workshop එක උඩ ගියපුවාම ඇතුලේ 3D print එකක් තියෙනවා. welding bench එකක් තියෙනවා, wood bench එකක් තියෙනවා, bricklaying carpentry කෑල්ලක්. ඒතර මේවට library card එක වගේ ගිහිල්ලා අපිට තමන්ගේ product එක develop කරගෙන එළියට එන්න පුළුවන්. So those are some of the infrastructures we should pray අපිට එන්න ඕනේ. එතකොට තමයි ඉනෝවේෂන් එක එන්නේ. දැන් අපි ගත්තොත් එහෙම අපි very early stage innovation එකක් කතා කරනවා land master එක. ඉංජිනේර් කුලරත්න නේද උපේක්ෂා කුලතුංගද කුලරත්නට මිස් වුණා මට. නර්ඩ් එකේ ඩිරෙක්ටර්. මෙයා මෙයා මේක හදුවට පස්සේ අපිට ලංකාවේ එක කමර්ෂියලයිස් කරගන්න එක්ක සිස්ටම් එක තිබ්බේ නැහැ. නැත්තම් කවුරුත් මේක ඉන්ට්‍රස්ට් එක උනේ නැහැ. මෙයා මේක අරගෙන ගියා ජපානයට. ජපාන ඊට පස්සේ කුබෝටා ට්‍රැක්ටර් එක හදලා අපිට විකුණනවා. So it's like that is one of the pathetic situations. අද විතරක් නෙමෙයි. It was there for a long time. At least will pray those grounds might change in near upcoming future.
Yeah, thank you so much. Any other questions? So we have shared the attendance sheet now. So you have to fill that to secure the certificate. And please provide your valuable feedback also to improve our online program. So with that, I would like to thank Mr. Wenura Jayasinghe for the inspiring session, sharing his knowledge and experience. And I think our audience, I do believe that our audience gained a lot during today's session. So I'm really thankful to you for sharing that. Okay, so if you have any questions, still you can ask. But if not, you can follow Wenura on LinkedIn, and even if you want, we can share the contact details as well. So Wenura, you can maybe you can put your details on the chat. So if anyone is
On
interested,
the LinkedIn. All right. Okay. Let me get that one.
or maybe your email.
Yeah, I'll okay. LinkedIn, I'll share my LinkedIn.
Yes. Screen is shared.
Okay. Right. My LinkedIn I just shared. Would like to connect with us. And if you want a personally look into your organization, we are happy to do so. And if any one of yours want to get some personal support on career development, maybe we can connect on a short session in future.
Yeah. Also in the Green Skills Accelerator program, he is one of the resource persons, and we will be having another his session very soon. Yeah. Okay. Then thank you so much.